a band back in the 80s, if they sold 1 million CDs, after the industry takes their cut, they're still going to have a lot of money, right? Whereas you get 1 million streams, it's literally $4,000 Australian.
Is that?
That's $4,000, yeah. So
1 million streams from...
It's four. It
depends on what country you
platform.
stream it as well.
Yeah.
Really?
There's different
Yes.
tiers of countries.
Yeah. So I'm going to use Brazil for the example, but Brazil, you get less of a royalty than if you get it from America or from Australia. So there is...
Does Australia, so as an Australian band, do the Australian royalties pay the highest?
They're one of the higher ones, yes.
This episode of Music Bible is brought to you by Jack Daniels. Whether it's a concert, a festival, or its history with music legends, Jack Daniels is an integral part of music culture, both past and present. From stage to glass, it only takes one sip to know what makes Jack, Jack. Hello and welcome to Music Bible, where we peek inside the brains of those shaping Australian music, from up-and-comers to iconic artists and beyond. I am your host, Jackson Langford, and today I'm joined by two members of alt-punk, pop-punk, rock-pop mash, that's how I was told to describe them, duo Soso, and we are here to discuss their debut album, the Oz music scene in general, and whether it's enough for artists to just be artists anymore. Boys, Reese, Tom, how you doing?
Good, mate.
Very good, Jackson. I love the intro.
Thank you so much. Yes, I said I'd quote you.
Yeah, you quoted me spot on.
I'm a man of my word.
You were.
Boys, I've got a question for you both. You can answer simultaneously or at once. What is the first memory you guys have of falling in love with an Australian artist or Australian music in general?
I think if I'm going to go like Australian artist, I think honestly, the Veronicas, Untouched, is just still to this day. I don't know if that's like a first memory, but I think if I think Australian artist right now, it's Veronicas. So I don't know, something about it.
Period. I mean, that song has aged like the finest of wines.
It's beautiful.
It's only gotten better, and what's 20? Like coming up to 20 years old.
Please don't remind me of how old it is.
I want to say 2000. I want to say 2009.
I must have been 3 when they came out. Right?
That was, 5 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, Reese. What about you?
Mine was King of the Mountain by Midnight Oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, two different ends of the spectrum here. I love it.
I think it was to do with car racing, like an ad sort of thing. I was big into that back in the day, yeah.
Advertising works on us all. And it stays with you. Here you are, fully fledged musicians yourselves. Look, I have to say your story as a band is fascinating, and I'm just going to read out some stats that I've since found out after sitting down with these boys for 5 minutes are outdated from when I typed these questions up yesterday. So, you're fully independent.
Correct.
But you guys are having success, and you guys are achieving short-term goals, I'd say, that a lot of artists that are in the similar position to you struggle with. You've got, or would need like a major label backing for. So we're talking millions of streams, over 10,000 mailing list subscribers.
Yes.
Insanity. And a ton of merch that you guys have sold that's grossed you guys over 6 figures this year alone. First of all, where do I sign up? Second of all, like, how did you pull that off? It feels unbelievable to read off, and I wrote this.
Yeah, I think like it kind of dawned on me like only a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, when we were nearing 6K, like 6 figures, I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
A lot of hard work. Honestly, it never stops. And just a lot of obviously going direct to our fans, right? So,
What does that mean?
Email marketing, yeah. But, one of the things that we noticed early on is like you need to get fans actually interested in what you're doing by giving them something, right? So what we've done is
Beyond the music, you mean?
Beyond just the music, yeah. So like exclusive content that it's like, okay, well, if we're going to ask you guys to sign up for our emailing list and we're going to, send you out these emails, we want to give you something that's actually worthwhile. So whether it's we're doing our pop punk covers that we do and we shoot a video and, we're able to go, hey, you only get that if you, sign up, or if it's whether we're running like our free merch campaigns where we're essentially saying if you cover the shipping, we've got, X amount of free merch that we'll give away. And that's just like a CD and a couple of things to kind of intro people to. So they've got something they can have in their hand. And that's mainly how we've done it, like just a goodwill kind of build up of like, instead of being a band that's kind of like, well, we make music we think's really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, we make music we think's really good, but also like, you know, here's all this extra stuff you guys get just for being on board for this ride. So
Totally.
I think that's kind of like the crux of it all, really.
What's the trajectory of it? Like, how long have you spent building this fan base like that?
So you can jump
Probably
in.
about 2 years ago, we kicked off the next.
So that's still like
Wrong.
not that long.
It's-
like realistically.
It's felt long.
Yeah, it feels both a very long time and a very short time because like I don't have memory anymore. But yeah, January 2024 is when we kind of really pushed into the whole like email marketing, and then so like, you know, as quick stats kind of thing is like last year we did 35,000 in online sales, and this year I'm projected to do like between 125 to 150.
And like the other side of that is,
And that's just merch.
That's just online sales, yeah.
Far out.
the other side of that is, you know, we don't really see our families and friends much.
Yeah.
We've pretty
Okay,
much given
right,
up
okay.
on that. Yeah. Maybe once or twice every 3 months, we'll go out and do something, be
Right.
sociable, but it's just 7 days of locking in.
Right. But I guess like if it's, I'm assuming they support.
Yeah,
your
yeah.
vision. But at least it's paying off. At least it's, you know, it's not for naught.
Yeah, it's not for naught, but it always feels like you're on the line. You know, you're kind of walking a tightrope between like surely this is great, and then also, but it's, you know, kind of not paying the bills. Like it's a struggle still. You know what I mean?
Of course. But well, hopefully things will change. At least hopefully when the debut album is released. So much for Second Chances. It'll be out when this podcast goes live, but on the date of recording, it is not yet out. I'm going to throw some more stats at you. It's had a pretty impressive number of pre-sales, given, again, a full independent band. I gave a number earlier, and you were like, no, it's double that. So can you confirm to the camera how many pre-sales you've had at this point?
So as of recording this right now, we're up over 2,800.
And the album is out in 2 weeks-ish.
2 weeks-ish. Please don't say it. Don't remind me that. It's like I got a lot of work to do
It's
between
in 2
now.
weeks, but it's about 3 sleeps.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm incorrect, you guys are projecting yourselves based on these numbers or ambition to top the ARIA charts.
That has been essentially that's our goal, right? So I think that some of the times when it's gone out there to everyone, it's like boldly projecting that we're going to get an ARIA number one. I think it's more so like we've aimed for this. So the idea here was we wanted to go not just in the Australian artist category, which like fingers crossed, you know, I'm fairly certain we'll be able to grab that.
The number one.
The number one in the Australian artist category.
Yep.
But we actually wanted to try and top the actual, you know, charts overall.
They're coming for your gig, Taylor Swift. Watch out.
Yeah, well, that's Taylor who? So the idea was let's just try and do something outrageous, and essentially it was we've run out of options to get the industry's buy-in. So we kind of feel like this is our last shot to either get them to pay attention, and we were hoping that they would get on board because, you know, we're getting close to being in with a shot. Mm-hmm. So as it stands, you know, maybe I got my hands on some numbers, maybe I didn't. You know, as it stands, we'll probably end up in the top 3 or 4.
Nothing to sneeze at. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Based on your calculations, how many pre-sales on average do you think an artist needs to get that number one spot, pending there's no like superstar dropping at the same time?
Yeah, so like if you've got a superstar, it's like, you know, obviously Taylor Swift's going to do...
Try again next week,
yeah, crazy amount. But like a strong week, anywhere between 6 to 10,000. On a week, you know, less strong week, anything from like 3 to 5 is in with a chance.
And this is album pre-orders.
So it's album sales. So obviously everything that you pre-order gets counted to that first week. Mm-hmm. So we've got, you know, the next 2 weeks to do pre-orders plus the week of the release.
And then the first week of sales. Okay,
yeah.
Got you.
So pretty much how we've been pitching it is if we can get up to about 3,500, which again is, you know, we're 700 off that at the moment.
So it's, again, feels achievable.
Yep, feels achievable. We're in with a shot at getting to the number one. if we get to 4,000, we're in with a decent shot. If we're 4,500, we're in with a pretty decent shot. Like it's hard to kind of sell it to people, but it's like, look, that's kind of how it makes sense. We still might get pipped. Someone might do, a ton. But, it's kind of like I've been thinking about it. It's like there's probably never going to be an independent artist who's in this situation, this scenario. Kind of going back to it, we haven't had any real industry support. I have to call out the music. They actually did one article on us. You've so graciously had us on.
Of course.
And we've had Josh from Double J get behind us. And we've had like a slew of smaller kind of outlets that have kind of written about us. But in terms of like, your big dogs, no one seemed to buy it. So no one's getting on board, which to me is kind of crazy because
given the numbers that you're pulling and what's projected to happen.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say who said it, but we were kind of told, they don't care about that now, which I think is pretty hilarious because I tend to think it's
okay,
right. So look, we put a post up just the other day and pretty much said, look, we're in this position without any support. We thought we'd get more support. It's just going to be up to, the Soso crew, which is our mailing list and all our fans, and anyone that kind of wants to back an independent artist to do something I probably shouldn't have tried to do. And yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, would you, because you're doing this fully independent and because you haven't had the maybe industry buy-in that would have helped, I guess, you've been able to have a lot of sort of freedom. There's freedom in that, isn't there?
There is.
Would you have done it any other way?
What do you think, Dory?
Oh, it's tough because like if we'd been getting that support from them, it's like we're way more driven now to achieve more because we haven't had any of that.
Yeah, you've done what you've done despite.
Yeah. So yeah,
there you go.
It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I'd like to think we'd still be just as strong and driven, but
I think we'd be as strong as driven. But it's like I always feel like I am spending a lot of my time learning how to market or learning how to get content out to people, and ultimately when my only time to actually practice my instrument or write songs is literally when we're jamming together. I just always think to myself, well, it's like if an artist's job is to, be good at their instrument, which I pride myself on, it's like I would much prefer to have never had to touch this stuff and just be an artist, but kind of forced against our will to do these things.
By the powers that be, by society, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way it's all heading, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We love chatting to the music legends of today and tomorrow, but Jack Daniels' legacy goes all the way back through to the legends of music's past. Want to know how one of the world's most famous musicians, aka the King of Swing, took his Jack? 3 or 4 ice cubes, a splash of water, a traditional rocks glass, and 2 fingers of JD. And he loved it so much, he was actually buried with a bottle of it. Already a part of music's history, Jack Daniels is now a part of music's future, helping to share the stories of Australia's best up-and-coming artists. All it takes is one sip to know what makes Jack, Jack. Now you guys, maybe more than anyone that's ever sat in these chairs, are the perfect example of how wearing as many hats as possible, how far it can get you. But that's all because, like we discussed, we're in a digital age, we're in a streaming age. Whether there's have major label backing or not, artists have to, it's no longer enough for artists to just be artists. You need to be good at content, you need to be good at marketing yourself. Do you think more artists, on average, would be successful if streaming didn't exist?
it's a toughie.
Yeah, I'm really hit you with the hard ones today.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there'd be more artists that would be successful necessarily. I think because I've kind of gone back and tried to figure out as well. I'm like, is it just like our generation of like bands that are struggling, or what was the deal back with all these other bands, back in the 80s or whatnot? Mm-hmm. And I've kind of found that it's like same, just different kind of. It's like history repeats. It's just kind of looks differently, right?
Yeah.
So obviously Spotify's and streaming services have made it so that pretty much everyone can put songs out there, which is brilliant on one hand, because you get to put a song out. If you can, grab this SM7B and, record, you can put a song out there. Also, what it's meant is there's like something like, is it like 10,000 or something a week that have been loaded to Spotify?
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And it's like so much easier for stuff to get lost in that like junk space.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure if like more bands would be successful. I think that what's probably changed and hurt a lot of bands is there's probably less avenues to kind of get around the Spotify thing. So, for example, people do tend to need a lot of pushing to come out to live shows now. But
why do you think that is? Because I don't see not a musician. I don't see the connection between streaming and that, because streaming is just like, if I think about it at a basic level, streaming is just the method that people are using to find and listen to music.
I think it probably means there's a lot more casual listeners.
Yeah.
And diehard fans that would come out.
Right. So if you have 1 million streams on a song, that's not necessarily 1 million diehard fans.
Oh, for us it is, but generally speaking.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Got you.
A band back in the 80s, if they sold 1 million CDs, after the industry takes their cut, they're still going to have a lot of money, right? Whereas you get 1 million streams, it's literally $4,000 Australian.
Is that?
That's $4,000, yeah. So
1 million streams from.
It's 4. Yeah, it's 4.
It depends on what countries
Platform.
stream it as well.
Yeah,
really.
There's different tiers of countries.
Yeah. So I'm going to use Brazil for the example, but Brazil, you get less of a royalty than if you get it from America or from Australia. So there is.
Does Australia? So as an Australian band, do the Australian royalties pay the highest?
They're one of the higher ones, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But would that be the same for an artist from Brazil, for example?
Yes. So if a Brazilian artist is getting an Australian streamer, they get a slightly higher, royalty payout.
And it's 1 million gives you $4,000.
Yeah, I think that's what
Give
we
or
did.
take, yeah.
When H did that really stupid video.
3 years ago, yeah.
That was 3 years ago, but I don't think it would have changed,
Right, so that is
massively.
Not a lot to work with.
Not really.
For 1 million streams, which is a huge achievement. There'd be so many artists that would die to have 1 million streams on a song.
Yeah.
But then for that to be
Just
the reward, it's like, okay.
Yeah. But, to that example, if you were someone who couldn't get the streams, but you're like, all right, we'll go the INXS route and just play every pub and club from here to, all down the East Coast. It's not that easy to get people to come out to shows now. So whereas you could kind of self-fund by just playing lots of shows, I think that's been taken away. So and that's like probably a bunch of things. COVID, the fact that so many things are turning online.
Yeah, COVID really.
Yeah.
She really did a number. And it's just like, also the lack of governmental support, but that's, a topic for another day. Do you think that, I guess, if we brought back, say, the iPod or an MP3 player, God forbid, do you think that would change things? Because to me, that feels like listening to music is more intentional. Like you have to curate.
You only got 250 songs that you can.
So you better choose them right.
Yeah.
Because
you know what we need? We need to return to LimeWire. I feel like
I've been saying this.
Yeah, if you're literally putting your family computer on the line by downloading a song from LimeWire, if you get that song, it's like you feel like you've really earned that.
Your family's bank details could be floating around in the ether. But my God, you got that Sean Paul song.
Exactly. But yeah, and honestly, when you download stuff from LimeWire, you had no idea if that was the band's best song or worst song.
Yeah.
Or if it was even that band.
It was even that band. Yeah. Or if you got the George, the Bill Clinton at the start. I did not have.
Wow, that is a throwback.
Yeah.
Listeners under a certain age will not understand. But it's also like, I feel I am with the LimeWire, whatever it was back in those days, it's like you had to know the thing in your mind to find it.
Yeah.
You couldn't just passively the way you passively listened to music back then was on the radio.
Yeah.
Or watching music videos on Video Hits or Rage or something.
Or your older siblings or someone that you thought was cool at school. That
exactly.
I found Alkaline Trio that way. A guy that wore an Alkaline Trio shirt outside of school. I'm like, what band? What's that? He's like, it's a band. LimeWire, 700 viruses. But I got those 3 songs from Alkaline Trio.
Cool. Well, it's similarly, recently I was at a farewell concert from one of my favorite Australian bands, Northeast Party House.
Yep.
And I discovered them because I rocked up early to a show of someone else that was playing, and they were the support act, and I had no idea who they were, and they put on such a magnificent performance that I stuck with them for the 15 years that they were together post that. That still can happen.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't know. Are we losing the magic? Can we get it back?
I genuinely think we can. I think it just comes down to, I think there needs to be a focus on, there are a lot of bands, and not just us, but there are a lot of bands that we play with or we pick as supports that essentially have that same hustler mentality, that have got good songs but also, work really hard for it, right?
Yeah.
And I do think that the industry overlooks these bands, and I think that these are the bands that end up having, a random fan who's not even there for them suddenly become a diehard fan, right? We've had people come to our shows and, 51st Avenue, it's a band that we've played with multiple times. We literally put them on shows again now because, one, they're great people, two, the songs are great, but also we get people who are like, hey, your next show you're going to have 51st Avenue? We're like, yeah, we'll have them on. Like, now they're fans
Back
of them,
off,
which is great. So I think it comes
and that's
down
great for them, too, because,
of course.
you guys are up against it, but also on the flip side of that, you guys are in a position that I'm sure a lot of bands would kill to be in. You know what I mean? Like, so it's great that you're sort of like, you're paying it forward.
We're trying to.
Bit,
We're definitely trying to pick. We're trying to pick bands that we can see being overlooked, and obviously who are good to work with as people as well, and the genuine kind of people. Because it's hard when you are an independent band. It's like, I'm running the night, so I get about 15 minutes before I go on where I'm like, right, everyone needs to stop talking to me, because up until that point I've organised. So you want people that are easy to deal with. So it's like, okay, you guys got yourself sorted. It's not like a band rocking up and being like, hey, we didn't bring amps or anything, so can we just borrow amps? It's like, man, we can help. We can sort this out, but one less thing would be nice.
Yeah, true. Well, I've got one more thing for you. Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah.
We have our final segment, and it is our message in a bottle. And if I direct your eyes to said bottle here, there is a message in this that has been left by a previous guest.
Oh, no.
I haven't read this. They didn't know who they were writing it for. And it might not come out. Okay, there we are. I want you to open this one, read the question aloud, and answer it as best you can.
Milk, bread, condoms. It's just someone's shopping list.
Oh. How did I get there?
All right. If your music was served up for dinner, what would the meal be and why? Heh. Ruby Jackson.
Damn. Ruby coming in hot with hard-hitting questions.
Handwriting's probably about 6 out of 10. By the way.
I actually thought she had beautiful penmanship, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm just going steak and potatoes because, it's just your everyday.
Yeah.
Well, if you got the money for it these days, I mean, I'm struggling a bit for that. But what would you think?
I was going to say ice cream with sprinkles.
Well, you can go ice cream with sprinkles.
Well, that's a full, that's main and dessert.
What were we doing the other day? We got the Macca's chicken nuggets with Oreo McFlurry. You wouldn't believe. Remember we did that? Okay, maybe it was just me in my dream. It actually works. It actually works.
So I used to work at Hungry Jack's when I was a teenager, and that's where I learned about chicken nuggets and caramel sundae.
Yeah.
Topping. Not my fave, but I see the appeal.
I do it anyway. Hey, when I worked for Hungry Jack's, it was $4.95 an hour they were paying me.
Same.
Right. Yes.
Is that legal?
Probably
I
not.
don't know, probably not.
And we've just lost them as a future sponsor of this podcast. Wonderful. So we go with steak and potatoes.
Yep.
What's the sauce?
Diane. We'll go Diane.
Hey, well, someone thinks much of himself. And ice cream and sprinkles. Any topping?
Maybe like a bubblegum sort of syrup sort of thing going on.
Okay.
Maybe some marshmallows.
You both hit me with everyday meals, and then you spice it up at the end.
I didn't really spice it up, did I?
Well, I would have said gravy. That would have been my first guess. But Diane's
I just feel like, steak and potatoes, I don't know, man. That's just me. That's just, maybe I'm boring.
No, I think Diane's the opposite.
I feel kind of judged now.
I feel like Diane's I'm sorry, I don't mean to judge you. Diane is the least ordered option.
Is it really?
I feel like it is.
Oh, man, I've been ordering it because everyone else does.
Who are these people?
I don't know.
You got mushroom, you got like peppercorn.
Peppercorn.
Veggies in my sauce, man.
Get those veggies away
They
from
grow
my
in
meats.
poop. Well, technically everything grows in poop, but anyway,
Maybe that's why they
Technically,
taste
everything grows in poop. You heard it here first.
that's what fertilizer is, right?
True. And bubblegum, I'm imagining like the blue. Okay, why?
You just consume it every day. Just pump it down. Like, this is good for me in all ways.
Fair enough.
I think.
I also feel like steak and potatoes is a good, like, if I was like, oh, what are you having for breakfast? I was like, oh, steak and potatoes. We're having for dinner, steak and potatoes. That's not going to, like, raise an eyebrow.
Not really. People will be like, it's a bit weird to eat steak for brekkie, but, you know, whatever.
You're on the other end of the spectrum, though. Ice cream, I'm just assuming vanilla.
We're all on the same spectrum, my friend.
Vanilla with sprinkles, bubblegum, and marshmallows.
Yeah.
I need to know the explanation.
It's very extravagant, isn't it?
Right, you need to
For a
think higher.
child.
You need to think higher of yourself.
Yeah.
Extravagant, and you've gone every day.
Well,
You'll meet in the middle, and then it's all going to happen.
then it's
for
just
you.
all chicken nuggets and Oreo McFlurry.
Well, I guess the debut album, is it extravagant or is it every day?
Both.
There we are.
It's extravagant.
It's meeting in the middle.
It's like 4 different albums put together. It's cohesive, but
4 different albums, so we're talking entree, main, dessert, and then like a starter.
kind of, yeah. It's just a strange one because we've got a couple of pop punk songs on there. We've got a couple of pop rock songs, and then we've got a couple of like post-hardcore alt kind of songs. So, but it's all kind of so-so, I think.
Got a bit of Creed influence in there in one of the songs.
Ooh, okay. Well, now I'm seeing the food vision.
Which one's the Creed one? Are you talking about Let It Be?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's only because I sing the chorus as Creed, and it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Well, then work out which songs of which is theirs. But before that, there's a second part to this. You need to leave a question for the next guest. Australian pop duo, make very good music. Don't let that influence the question, but just in case you needed a hint.
Okay, now don't start it with as an Australian pop
Pop
duo.
duo, as Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. This is not something we've asked artists to do; they just have been doing it. Feel free to sign it off with Soso at the end.
Lots of love. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Beautiful, wonderful.
I love note as well.
Parchment.
Don't read it.
I'm not.
Okay, I'm just saying, you know.
This is my show. Back off. Tell me what to do.
Hey, I say that. We'll be right back.
Speaking of, we'll be right back. We're not going to be right back because the episode is over. Thank you so much, Reese and Tom, for stopping by. Can you share with the lovely people at home where they can follow your journey?
Of course, you can check us out on socials at Soso Punks, Punx. It's at Soso Punks. Or you can go to www.sosopunks, that's sosopunx.com, and join the Soso crew and get your hands on all the exclusive content and pre-order our album and help us get number 1.
Or just listen to their album because their album will be out by the time this episode goes live.
Order our album.
Just get your hands on the album in one way or another.
Download it on LimeWire.
MUSICbible Australia is a Val Morgan digital production and part of the LADbible Australia network. Make sure to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss an episode. And if you like what you hear, rate us 5 stars and tell your friends to tune in.